Starting lineup. Karl Malone, again back after that one-game suspension, will be up front with Devean George. Devean coming off a game in which he had 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. The NBA Player of the Week, Shaquille O'Neal in the middle, along with Kobe Bryant, already in his 8th season, and Gary Payton, currently 7th in the league in assists. The head coach played for the New York Knicks for a decade, the 11th winningest coach of all time in his 5th season is Phil Jackson for the New York Knicks, who come in at just 3-9 on the road. They've lost 3 straight out on this recent Western swing. We mentioned that Allen Houston will not play. Changes in their starting lineup. Van Horn and Thomas up front. Dikembe Mutombo will face Shaq in the middle. Shandon Anderson averaged 15 points a game while in the starting lineup for a variety of players, along with Howard Eisley at the point. Longtime NBA star and coach Don Chaney in his 12th season as an NBA head coach, 3rd in New York. Don Chaney, there you see his record with the Knicks, as well as coaching for the Pistons and the Clippers as their head man.
The last time these two teams met here at Staples was a bad night for the Lakers. That was the last time they lost a regular season game here at Staples. That was the night that Allen Houston went for a career high 53, and Kobe had his 5th straight 40-point game, and always there's an asterisk besides most of these games. The big fella, Shaquille O'Neal, did not play. Thus, you can understand why they possibly lost.
Allen.
Excuse me, when you have a player like Allen, where they don't have an up-tempo game to begin with, they run a lot of set stuff. He's their pure shooter, leads them in scoring at 20 points per game. They're going to miss him tremendously on the offensive end. But starting Shandon Anderson probably be a good thing, because the last time these two teams played in Madison Square Garden, Kobe got Allen in such foul trouble early, he had to go to the bench.
Allen Houston was a non-factor there, thanks in large part, as you just mentioned, Stu, to the brilliant defense of Kobe Bryant. Dikembe Mutombo and Shaquille O'Neal squaring off as they did in the NBA Finals a couple of seasons ago, and the New York Knicks in their road blue uniforms have the tip, and want to let you know that tonight's game is presented on Fox Sports Net in high definition. Keith Van Horn, who didn't play in the first meeting back on November 16th because of an ankle sprain, opens the books on this one with a nice turnaround jump shot.
Nice change of direction that time by Keith. One thing about him, though, you got to be physical with him. You just let him go through the motions, he can hurt you.
Malone, free throw line, high archer off the front of the iron, and Mutombo takes a rebound. He was the NBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week, not this, but last week. Outside to Anderson, left to Eisley. Inside to Kurt Thomas, nice handoff. Shaq came down to help back outside. Van Horn has opened things up quickly. A three-pointer. He's got all 5 of them for New York as the Lakers are still scoreless.
And what they try to do with him, they being the Knicks, try to get him off early, run stuff right to him so that you can get him involved in the game.
Averaging about 16 points per game. Kobe comes baseline, biding his time, throws inside to Shaquille. Gathering, throws it down. The foul before the basket is going to be either on Kurt Thomas. Yeah, they give it to Kurt Thomas of the New York Knicks.
The big fella surrounded by Kurt Thomas and Dikembe Mutombo, but it doesn't make a bit of difference. He's just so strong. Once he gets it in those big mitts, you either have to foul him or let him go up, show off.
Shaquille had 23 points in the first meeting, got to the line 16 times, making 11 of them. Backing down on Mutombo. The running hook off the back of the iron, and Van Horn doing it all for New York, at least in the opening moments with a rebound.
Another area you got to keep Van Horn involved in is defensively. Devean George has got to be available to make him play on the defensive end.
There's Mutombo trying to be a little more aggressive offensively, but I don't know about a step back fall-away jump shot.
Well, that's what it was. It was a step back. You don't want to step back. You want to step to the side a little bit. When you step back, all of your weight transfers to your heels, and that's a terrible way to have to shoot a basketball.
During the week when Dikembe was voted the most outstanding player in the Eastern Conference, averaged in double figures, scoring, not rebounding. Eisley beats the Laker defense badly, and New York off to a quick start, leading at 7-0.
Well, the Lakers think this is the continuation of the fourth quarter of the last ball game.
Devean George, new night for him. The Lakers might have lost that game without his big shot in the waning moments. Lakers still scoreless. Eisley covered up, former teammate of Karl Malone's. They played together in Utah for a couple of seasons. That's a loose ball foul. Going to go against Dikembe Mutombo. The Lakers will have it. First foul on Mutombo, second on the Knicks.
Now Mutombo behind Shaquille O'Neal, and that is obviously a big body to be behind and try to go over the back and get a rebound. Picks up his first personal.
The Knicks 4-5 at home. As I mentioned, 3-9 out on the road, and another turnover by the Lakers. Very, very sloppy start, Stu. You're right. This is the 5th quarter of the Utah game.
No question. They're going to have to pick it up. And the best way to pick it up is on the defensive end. Get active. Be that defensive team that they were in their 4-game win streak on the road.
Good strip by Devean George. Van Horn has a sizable advantage height-wise at 6'10", 240. Devean George is a long 6'8".
Yeah.
But Van Horn tried to work him in the low box.
But really showed him the ball as he was turning to his right shoulder there, and Devean just stripped him of it.
Eisley brings the ball in. Quick jump shot by Anderson, and a quick start again continues for the Knicks. They lead at 9-0.
As always, Phil Jackson likes to have teams figure it out for themselves, and Kobe just figured it out.
We need a basket, number 8.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Number 8 asked the flight tower, am I clear for takeoff? And they said yeah. And he was gone.
And there was no weak side help. Dikembe was attached to the hip of Shaquille O'Neal. Eisley off the screen, comes over, lays it up and in very, very nicely.
Good screen by Mutombo. Shaquille was trying to come over to make the defensive play, but Mutombo got in the way. Easy score for Eisley.
Eisley continuing to have a pretty good year, shooting to just over 40% after a terrible season. Payton gets down the lane, kicks it out to Malone. Second shot of the night is good for the mailman.
They're going to just have to pick up. You can see New York trying to do something they don't do a lot of, and that's push it in a hurry, trying to keep the tempo more to their liking.
Boy, Eisley must be feeling a little. That one goes over the top, legally stays in, did not hit any of the basket support. So Shaq stays with it. Payton, head fake, bad pass into the front row, was looking for Kobe, who had flashed all the way down onto the baseline.
Gary trying to say that Shandon Anderson tipped the ball. Turnover nonetheless. Lakers trailing by 7. 8:14 to play in the first.
Lakers doing a pretty good job of not turning the ball over, among the league leaders in that category at about 14.5 per game. Good head fake by Thomas. Loses Malone and makes a 17-footer. And the Knicks are shooting it at 67% to start this game.
Well, that's the key to start this game. 48-minute game. Can they continue to shoot at a high clip? Will the Lakers decide to play defense? I think so.
13-4, the Lakers trail inside to Shaquille. Going to work on Mutombo. Head fake. Mutombo stays down. Good defense by Dikembe. Kobe's got the offensive rebound. Puts it back up and in.
And he did the right thing. When you try to strip a big, coming down with the rebound, don't come down. Swing your hand up. You get away with a lot more that way.
Eisley, little stutter step in the lane. Nowhere to go. Finds Van Horn. Shaq has to come over and help. And he scared Van Horn into a turnover.
Yeah, he'd scare you too, wouldn't he?
I'm scared, and I'm sitting 20 rows up.
You go baseline and run into number 34, all of a sudden you lose your concentration. And speaking of concentration, Kobe just stripped Mutombo of that defensive rebound, and then the pretty tough shot.
Payton trying to get around Eisley, spins in the lane. Left-handed layup is beautiful by Payton.
There's not a guard in this league, a player in this league for that matter, that around the hoop uses their offhand any better than GP.
As we approach the 7-minute mark of the first period, the Lakers trail at 13-8. Eisley wants a screen from Thomas around it. Nice pass to the baseline. Here comes Anderson attacking Shaq and draws the foul on Shaquille O'Neal.
But he did it in the right way. When you go in against the shot blockers, you must go straight into their chest. They rarely will stand down and try to take a charge. They're looking more to block the shot, and you've got to get contact if you want to get to the charity strike.
There's Shandon Anderson, already in his 8th season, 3rd in New york, out of the University of Georgia, 6'6", 210, averaged about 8 points, 3 rebounds last year, played in all 82 games, and this is his 521st consecutive appearance. Currently the longest streak in terms of durability in the NBA, the 17th overall.
Well, he's right on AC Green's heels. Another couple of games and he'll be still right on his heels. Play another career and he might catch AC Green, former Laker, played forever.
Kobe, one dribble, pull-up jump shot. That's off the front of the iron. Rebound is dropped. Shaq comes up with it. He was fouled, but play continues. Back outside to Devean. Gary Payton all alone, been struggling from the three-point line, and that continues. Eisley out of the backcourt. The Lakers trailing at 15-8. Into the corner. Wide open is Shandon Anderson. No long rebound comes to Payton. The Lakers looking to run. New York wants to get back. Spin move by Payton. Kicks it out to Kobe. Thought about the three. Kobe's going to set up the triangle offense. They're going to wait for Shaq, who's on the weak side. Comes up to the pinch post. Shaq looking. One dribble on the weave. Very tightly spaced. 6 on the shot clock. Here comes Payton. Finger roll.
GP with one of his specialties. Little finger roll into paint. The bigs always, they get enticed to try to block it, but they can't get to it.
Out to an unguarded Kurt Thomas. Missed that one badly off the back of the iron. Up and over and out. And the Lakers will have it on the side.
With that, we've got our first timeout of the ball game, and the Lakers now trailing by 5. And Kobe Bryant got them on the board first with a nice play to the rack on Fox Sports Net.
No, you can't. Early to a 15-10 lead over the Lakers. Quick scouting report. Obviously, the Lakers, this really pertains to any team, but they want to keep New York off the free throw line because the Knicks are a great free throw shooting team. They're scrappy. They'll hang around to the end. Antonio McDyess, we will see him. Limited minutes, perhaps. No explosiveness. When you've been out a couple of years, they're going to wean him back into his game. Post up, mid-range. That's basically what we'll see from Antonio when he comes into the game. Paul, back to you.
All right, thank you, Bill. Antonio McDyess has appeared in 4 games, just about 19 minutes per game. Shaq down inside, among Dikembe and Mutombo, among others, and still comes up empty with that. Shaq's 0 for 3.
That one almost looked like it slipped out of his hand. He never did really shoot that ball.
Van Horn, who scored the first 5 points of the game. The Lakers trail it 15-10. Thomas backing down. Good quick move to the baseline. Missed that. Devean George takes the rebound. Lakers looking to run. Players are down. Malone got caught up with Kurt Thomas. Payton in among the trees. It comes to Malone. Nice pass to Shaquille. Wasn't expecting it. It goes off Shaq out of bounds.
Karl upset. And the reason he's upset is he was filling the lane on that last possession, the next to last possession. Got tripped up. Or else he would have had a layup. No call was made.
Eisley on the perimeter, comes around to screen from Thomas. The help defense, the rotation. Good steal by the Lakers. Here comes Payton. Kobe on the left side. Back to the trailer. Devean George from downtown. Came up short. Nice high rebound by Mutombo. He's attacked in the backcourt.
It would have been nice, obviously, if Devean would have made that shot. But when you've got numbers in transition, I just don't like to see you settle for a three-point shot.
Well, especially it was number 8 flying on the wing, Stu. Kobe's pretty good finisher.
Devean was following Kobe, too. So Kobe ran. If he just keeps going through, which he did, that would have opened up that wing for Devean to just put it on the floor and go to the rack himself.
Eisley to inbound, 4:37 remaining here in the opening period. The Lakers won the first meeting between these two teams back on the 16th at the Garden. Won by 21. Pull-up jump shot, not well defended at all, but missed badly by Anderson.
They're starting to come back to earth with their field goal percentage now.
Kobe quickly along the baseline. Wow, tough angle from there. Tipped out to Malone. He's open, and he's got another 16-footer.
Well, the Lakers trying to crawl back into this one here in the first quarter. Now trail by only 3. Every Lakers starter has been on the glass. They each have at least 1 rebound.
And Antonio McDyess along the sideline, taking off his sweats. He'll be in at the next dead ball. Outside to Anderson once again, away from Kobe, and he's good from 20 feet.
What so often happens is when you're naturally assigned to their star player and he doesn't play, your attention wanes a bit. You want to be in a help situation a little bit too much. Frees up someone like Shandon Anderson.
Kobe, Payton cutting off of Shaq, back inside to Shaquille. Anderson comes back down to double. Out to Kobe, splits the defense with awkward looking play, and he traveled trying to get to the rim.
You know, honestly, I don't know if that was travel. It's just the way that it looked, I think, persuaded the official, because in the NBA, they give you that step and a half off the dribble, but he got bumped, so they just called it an extra step and called the travel. That's another turnover for the Lakers. They've only got 12 points on the board, 3.5 to play.
5 turnovers, a big reason for that. The pass right through the hands of Kurt Thomas. That was a bullet at pretty close range.
Yeah, that was a tough pass to handle. Howard Eisley should go down and tell his big, my bad. It won't be a news bulletin, but he should at least tell him that you try your best to keep your bigs as happy as possible.
Inside to Shaquille once again. McDyess trying to guard him. I'm kind of surprised Mutombo got up to a pretty good start against Shaquille, and now they bring in Antonio McDyess, who basically hadn't played in 2 years, and say, well, hey, you get Shaq.
And not the guy you want to guard when you're coming in after not playing for a couple of seasons with injury. You don't want to go up against Shaquille O'Neal.
Derek Fisher will also be back in at the next dead ball as Shaq goes to the line, currently shooting 52% on the year. Free throw up and missed. And coming this February, Matt Kenseth looks to defend his points title as the world's best drivers return to Fox for 17 weeks of high-speed thrills, bumper-to-bumper racing, and excitement. NASCAR returns to Fox this February. Shaq misses both free throws. The Lakers continue to trail it 17-12. Fisher into the game now, replacing Kobe. Eisley backing down. Looking for Anderson, who's being fronted by Payton. Good defense by the Lakers in denial. 9 on the shot clock. Still looking for Anderson. Payton cuts him off, almost a hook. Tough turnaround jump shot made by Shandon Anderson.
You know, and Shandon is playing freely right now. He knows he's got the ability, has the green light to shoot because he's going to be out on the floor quite a bit.
He's taken and making, Stu. He's already got 4 in the game. He's taken 6 shots. Pass inside, intercepted by Van Horn. Here come the Knicks. They've got numbers. McDyess running right side. Rejected by Malone. It's going to be an offensive foul. Good play by Fisher.
And, you know, as the guy handling the ball in the middle, you have to decide which player you're going to give it to. Go opposite Derek Fisher because you know he's going to stand in and take the charge, as he did on Fox Sports Net.
Spanish language, you can turn it over to the SAP channel and get Fernando Gonzalez and his partner Pepe Mantilla. The game also available on their simulcast at KWKW. Paul Sunderland back with Stu Lance, Bill McDonald on the sidelines. The Knicks got out early. Keith Van Horn hit a deuce and then hit a three-point shot, and it's been the Knicks with the Lakers kind of fighting their way back uphill.
Now it's the bench for the Lakers' turn to get this game back under control as Phil Jackson is bringing in Slava Medvedenko, Bryon Russell, and to go along with Derek Fisher, 2 starters on the floor, Gary Payton and the mailman.
That round of applause you're hearing in the background is for none other than the game's leading scorer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Great to see him here. I wish he'd come to more games. Boy, big smile on his face, acknowledged by the crowd. Payton with it, working against Anderson. Backdoor cut by Medvedenko. Payton pull-up jump shot, needs a bounce and gets it kindly.
Seeing the captain there, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, brings back a lot of very good memories. As what a career he had, obviously, but what a person he was for his teammates.
McDyess has it at the pinch post, working, turns, take a tough fall-away jump shot off the back of the iron, but Kurt Thomas, one of the league's best offensive rebounders, hustles after it. Eisley working, baseline is open, the defense comes, nice pass, McDyess inside, fouled by Malone.
Now there's an example of where McDyess is now versus where he was before the kneecap injury that he sustained. Speaking of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in attendance, enjoying some popcorn or something. Cap, I know you didn't buy it. Someone must have brought it to you. Must be that free popcorn that I told him I was going to get him one of these days.
Oh, it's great to see him. Antonio McDyess misses the first of 2 free throws. McDyess 6'9", 245 in his 9th season. You remember he was traded from Denver to New York for Marcus Camby and the draft rights to Nene Hilario. Missed all of last year, played only 10 games the previous season. Misses both free throws.
Well, I mentioned McDyess now versus before the injury. When he caught that ball under the basket just now, the old McDyess would have elevated so fast.
Derek Fisher misses that. McDyess takes the rebound. Running pretty freely. He worked awfully hard during the offseason, and they were going to be careful until he was as close to 100% as possible. Van Horn, a big advantage. Oh, nice play by Russell, stripping that ball. Is it off of Van Horn? Nice play by Bryon Russell and the hustling Derek Fisher.
Well, we mentioned it from the last game. Bryon Russell played with Karl Malone a lot in Utah and picked up a nice trade here, just stripping the ball, and ball touched last by Keith Van Horn. Turnover. Ball back to the Lakers.
Lakers trail it 19-14. Spin move by Gary Payton. Misses the layup. It was a tough try. Another rebound by McDyess.
Just didn't get it high enough on the glass. That was some move, though, by the glove.
The Knicks come in currently 5th in the Atlantic, 4 games back of Philadelphia. Pull-up jump shot again by Anderson. He's the first player in double figures with 10.
The Knicks have owned this entire first quarter. They still own a 7-point lead. They forced the Lakers into a lot of mistakes. Too many mistakes, for that matter. 6 turnovers in the first quarter for the Lakers will not get it done.
Payton was fouled along the baseline by Kurt Thomas. Both teams out of fouls. 48 seconds remaining in the period. Still 16 on the shot clock for the Lakers as Clarence Weatherspoon will come on for Don Chaney's New York Knicks.
2 fouls on Thomas, so that, you know, he's upset. Only 48 seconds left in the quarter. He was hoping, obviously, to get out of this quarter with only the 1.
Kurt Thomas is absolutely crucial to the Knicks every night, averaging a double-double, one of just 6 players in the NBA this year to do so. Fisher with it, guarded closely by Eisley. Kicks it outside to Malone, hit 2 of 3 shots before. Can he make it 3 out of 4? Boy, he got a nice-looking stroke going.
Yeah, I mean, when he shoots the ball as a first resort, and he came out tonight aggressive offensively, and it's good to see.
Lakers now trail at 21-16, one of their lowest opening periods of the year. Eisley still with it on the dribble, has some room, and knocks down an 18-footer. Fisher was picked off.
Most teams run some sort of a high screen and roll for their guards. And when you have a guy that can shoot the ball like that, can't go underneath, you must force him to help.
Shot clock and game clock virtually a dead heat. The Lakers go into their weave. 10 seconds remaining in the period. Here comes Russell. Took it quickly, but got bailed out. He was fouled by Van Horn. It'll be 2 free throws.
That's what I talked about early with Devean George. You really must make Keith Van Horn move his feet defensively. Keep him occupied on the defensive end, and it takes away from his aggression on the offensive end.
That's 2 personal fouls now on Van Horn, joining Kurt Thomas. Russell at the free throw line, up and good. Russell now has his average up to almost 5 points per game. His field goal percentage over the last several games so improved, up to 42 on the year. Makes both free throws, but still 9.5 remaining in the period.
If they can get out of this period only down by 5 the way they played, they should be fortunate. They will be fortunate.
Doesn't look like it. Shandon Anderson down the lane, got a dozen. Nice pass from McDyess. 2 seconds remaining. Fisher's going to get a look at it. Shake. 27. For Fisher, but it was that kind of period.
Yeah, it definitely was, as the Lakers couldn't get anything to really go their way. So they come out of that first quarter the way they played the entire first quarter. Almost, as Fisher's shot tells you on Fox Sports Net.
Oh.
After a pretty sloppy first quarter, the Lakers trailed the Knicks 25-18 entering the start of the second. Kobe and Shaq will be coming back. The Lakers only shot 40%. The Knicks 55. Both teams had 20 attempts at the basket. The Lakers could only make 8. The Knicks made 11. The free throws just even. So Lakers just have to pick it up on the defensive end, stop turning the ball over. They'll be in great shape.
And find an answer to slow down Shandon Anderson, and played the entire first period. 5 of 8 from the floor, made both of his free throws. 12 points, far and away leading both teams in scoring. On the floor now for the Lakers, Bryon Russell stays on, as you mentioned, Stu. Kobe and Shaq come back, joining Slava Medvedenko and Derek Fisher. Charlie Ward, Othella Harrington come on, along with Shandon Anderson, Clarice Witherspoon, and Antonio McDyess stay on for New York. Russell with it now to Medvedenko above the 3-point line. They want to get Shaq off. Back outside to Kobe, looking for Shaquille once again. Anderson comes down to double team. Shaq the jump stop, bumped in the lane. Counts if it goes. The basket and the foul.
Well, I know you have to give Mutombo a rest, but I just don't think you can put McDyess on Shaquille and leave him that much by himself. The late double team came, but it was really ineffective. And Shaq with the head fake and the basket, a 3-point opportunity. They're going to have to double Shaq on the catch, or even before then for that matter, since with the new rules, you can double team a player without the basketball.
I mean, I'm not that expert at Don Chaney's run. Shaq banked in the free throw. I heard, did you hear him call it, Stu?
Well, no. He's got a 24-hour teller card. I mean, an ATM card, but that was not a call there.
Well, with the size of his account or accounts, he can make a deposit anytime he wants.
Or a withdrawal.
Backdoor cut. Anderson takes that. Going to make another one. No. Shaq came over to get a piece. Here come the Lakers out of the backcourt, trailing it now by 4. Nobody stops Kobe all the way to the basket. Lays it in.
First rule of defense, everybody teaches you that from grade school on. In transition, stop to basketball, and nobody, especially when the best player on the floor has it, you should be looking to stop it. They looked at Kobe and said, "Oh, he can't do nothing with it. Let him dribble it. He won't go anywhere." And Kobe says, "All right, let me see if I can make this layup here and bring the Lakers to within 2," which he did on Fox Sports Net.
It's on the shot clock. Into Weatherspoon, strong upper body. Boy, it looked like he traveled. Yeah, the call came late, but he did indeed.
That's a good thing, because Shaq was there to swallow the shot attempt by Weatherspoon. So turnover gives the ball back to the Lakers. They can finally catch this New York Knicks team on this possession.
The Knicks have led by as many as 9. The Lakers looking to draw even for the first time on the evening. Pretty good place to go. Medvedenko came up way short. Did Slava shoot an air ball?
Yeah, Slava shot an air ball. Don't worry, it won't deter him from taking the next one.
Ward still on the dribble, has it deflected momentarily. Former Heisman Trophy winner out of Florida State, Othello Harrington, played his college basketball for John Thompson at Georgetown, cuts through the lane. McDyess, fall away jump shot. Good defense by Shaquille, and that's going to be ruled off Harrington. The Lakers will have it.
Well, Othello Harrington should be the guy that they put into post right now. He's got a pretty good back to the basket game, especially when he's being defended by someone smaller than he is.
And he's being guarded by Bryon Russell. Exactly right, Stu. Shaq backing down, turns in the lane, the running hook, needs a bounce, hangs on the rim, and he gets it to fall.
Well, that was in tribute to the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. It wasn't the sky hook, but it's a traditional hook. It's something I'd like to see Shaquille do a lot more.
Well, you mentioned that, Stu. If he could get that shot where he could make it 60-70% of the time, which he might be able to do, wow.
Yeah, he can do it. He can make it. He just doesn't think to take it. I mean, we're creatures of habit, and his favorite move is the boom boom move. That's really what he wants to do, and then he'll counter that with the drop step. But when he goes to the traditional hook, it really is going to set up so many other things for him as he comes across the middle in good form, and Kareem sitting there looking at it and saying, that's what I'm talking about. That's the shot that I made famous, but still the most famous individual shot in the game of basketball is the sky hook.
Out to Russell. Can he make another three? Oh, splash that one.
Splash. I mean, he is. I told him before the game, you're a member of the orchestra now. Nothing but string music. Get out of that band. You don't want to be a percussionist.
10-0 run by the Lakers, but that is stemmed now by Charlie Ward, and the Lakers lead it now 28-27. Well, that one went through so cleanly, there was hardly any splash, a little bit like a diving contest. Inside to Shaquille, Mutombo back on for McDyess. Backing down, still backing down, turns in traffic, misses off the iron, has his own rebound. They're trying to, oh, look out. Boy, they were trying to foul him before he got airborne, and Shaq still took it up there around Weatherspoon. In there, Othello Harrington and Mutombo.
Doesn't matter. If you don't get to him early, he'll take you up to the rim with him. Just one strong individual. Misses his first shot, but gets his own rebound, and then three New York Knicks are there. Take your pick on who you want to give the foul to. Give Shaquille 2 free throws.
They selected Othello Harrington out of that scrum. Shaq, who banked in his last free throw, misses that one off the back of the iron. He's now 1 for 4. The Lakers 3 of 6 from the line so far on the evening. The Knicks just 2 of 4.
You know, I really do think that Shaquille is so conscious now of stepping over the line that it's affecting his delivery.
That one needs a bounce, and he gets it. Well, then the coaches and general managers around the league, Stu, have really accomplished what they set out to do. Namely, the folks in Dallas for the most part, but others really draw attention to him stepping over the line.
There's no question that they've accomplished what they wanted to do.
Weatherspoon with it, back to the basket, working on Russell. Good double team by Fisher, turnaround jump shot, nicely made, but I think pretty good Laker defense forcing him to take that shot. Fisher almost dropped it along the baseline. The Lakers and Knicks tied at 29. The first half in New York was a very closely fought affair as well, and then the Lakers blew out the Knicks in the second half. Shaq looking for cutters. Kobe digs out that pass. No, he shot that left-handed, falling down, and the Knicks lose the rebound off the end of the floor.
Kobe's on his swallow talking about, how do you think I got here? And the official says, don't really care, on Fox Sports Net.
That potential of being the best team in the league, and I think they're living up to it.
What do you think about Karl chasing you? He's trying to chase you down in a Laker uniform.
Well, he has a great shot at doing it. I think he's going to come close if he doesn't do it.
Tell us what you're up to. I know you're writing some books and doing some other things. Tell us.
Well, I'm doing a story about World War II, about a black tank battalion, and we're also doing a screenplay based on the book, and they're both moving along pretty well.
You still have the coaching bug?
Yeah, you know, I would do it if I got an opportunity, certainly.
And how about Shaq? He showed a little Kareem with a little skyhook a moment ago.
Yeah, that was nice. I wish he had made the shot, though.
Congratulations on everything. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the greatest scorer in the history of the NBA. Paul, back to you.
There it is, as it rightfully should be, in the Hall of Fame and up on the wall of fame here at Staples Center. Shaq's going to put that one down. Nice lob pass from Derek Fisher.
I tell you, Kareem was talking about writing a book, and the word book. As a player, every time we went anywhere, on the plane, the bus, the cap had a book in his hands all the time. He read everything that he could get his hands on.
Good read that time defensively by Shaquille, but Bryon Russell doing the job fronting Weatherspoon that time. 7 turnovers is it now for New York. The Lakers lead it 31-29. Fisher with it, just threw that nice lob pass. Shaq has got it near the pinch post outside Dikembe. Long 2-pointer off the back of the iron. Nice rebound by McDyess, who's out there now with Mutombo.
They said they were going to try to play McDyess in spurts, so you wonder how many minutes a spurt consists of. You just want to monitor a player like him coming off of that injury.
So far, it's been in segments of about 4 to 6 minutes, Stu. He's averaging just about 20 minutes per game since he's come back on December 1st. Kobe backing down on Frank Williams. They introduce themselves at Matt. Oh!
Shaq introduced him to this follow dunk. Mutombo is there, and all of a sudden Mutombo says, "Oh, me in big trouble."
Wow, it was that quick. At his size, Williams down the lane, fakes the behind-the-back pass. Good strip by Russell. Look at Bryon Russell continue to do the little thing. Medvedenko running the floor. Nice pass, lays it up and in.
Well, it's defense that gets it done, and again, the Lakers playing the defensive end. Bryon Russell coming up with the steal. Laker run now is 17-4. That forces Don Chaney to stop the action. He says, "Come on over here and sit with me, guys. We got to talk it over. We're not as effective as we were in quarter number 1 on Fox Sports Net." I did it home with that big right hand, and Mutombo was standing there, but he says, "I can't block Kobe's shot." Get back to Shaquille and get to him as well as the big fellas. Up, up, and away. Nice play by Shaquille.
And a good pose afterwards. Shaq now in the game in double digits, but you can't say enough. Especially you said, Stu, what the second unit will do defensively. Bryon Russell has really led the charge. A couple strips, a couple of steals. He's fronted well, rotated, playing good basketball at the defensive end.
Yes, I mean, to win, you have to play the defensive end. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to put the ball in the basket, but you get better opportunities when you're in transition after stops than you do after taking it out of the net.
Eisley working on the left side. Screen is set. McDyess with it. He could make that shot, but now he's looking to pass inside to Van Horn. Still, steal taken by Kobe. Back to Medvedenko. Gives it up nicely. Kobe lays it up and in.
That was some play again. Slava got it, and I'm thinking, Slava, give it to a guard in a hurry. Don't try to be a playmaker. He gives it to Fisher, and lets Fish make the play.
8-0 run by the Lakers. Now it's 37-29. Russell with an air steal. The ball's on the floor. Russell's got it again. Here comes Kobe. Medvedenko running down the floor. Shaq on the trail all the way down, and he's fouled. Wonderful job at the defensive end by the Lakers, and there's Bryon Russell again.
Bryon Russell has always been known as a defender, always. I know he shoots the three at times and knocks down shots, but he's always been known as a defender. And Keith Van Horn totally exposed the ball to him, and he just slaps it out of his hands and starts the Lakers down the other way. And the big fella running the court gets the pass, gets fouled. Can he make 2 free throws, continue this run? Come on, big. Show him you can do it.
Shaq, free throw, very, very flat. Nails that one. And to the point about Bryon Russell, one of the most famous shots that Michael Jordan ever made was at the Delta Center, where he crossed over on Bryon Russell and made a shot to sort of seal the deal for that championship. But if Bryon Russell wasn't the best defender on the floor at the time, he wouldn't have been on Michael Jordan.
You mean the one where Mike used the left hand and pushed Bryon about 4 feet? Oh,
that's the one. That's the one. Right in his side and pushed him all the way back into the lane. Both free throws good by Shaq. Get that out of here, and here come the Lakers. Russell on the run. Smart decision to Medvedenko, boy, but did he draw the charge on the pass off? Yes, he did.
Well, that's a drill that I would like to, I would like all coaches to start teaching. When you're in transition like that, and you know you're going to make a pass, as soon as the ball is ready to leave your hand, start veering to the left or the right. Don't run in a straight line, because the defense usually stands there and takes that charge. I hate that call, but it's a charge nonetheless.
5:30 remaining in the first half. The Lakers have carved out a lead after trailing by 7 after 1. Fisher goes to the floor on some contact. Eisley steps back. Nobody on McDyess, but he missed what was a pretty easy-looking tip.
When was the last time the Knicks scored? An hour ago?
Probably in the first period. They do have only 4 points in this period. Fisher, a little bit of a backdoor cut. They leave Russell alone. That's a mistake, but that was a trick. Kobe quickly with the rebound. Throws it to Shaq. Getting bodies off him.
I mean, and getting bodies off of him, too.
I mean, he was just like a fullback shedding tacklers.
I mean, there were 2 of them. Shandon Anderson was the first one as he was holding Shaquille. They may call this as an elbow technical after the fact, but we'll find out. The Shaq had it stripped and then just really went into it. So they're going to call the first foul probably, that Shaquille shoot free throws. And then they called the technical foul that I thought they would call.
Wow. Shaq is now talking about how he was held, and it was much worse than that, but he could only find Derek Fisher in the neighborhood.
And Derek is just so happy that Shaq wasn't too realistic in his demonstration, because when he demonstrates, he can hurt you. The big fella said, I wouldn't have had to throw my arms if you wouldn't allow them to hold each one of them. I'm trying to free myself, and it's the arm that he threw into Mutombo that drew the technical foul. Shaq will go to the line. He'll shoot 2. Now Shaq is really going to be upset. So look out next time he touches the ball in the post.
Well, I disagree with that call, Stu. We got the benefit of replay, and it looked like Shaq was extending his arm. Didn't think there was any elbow being thrown whatsoever. So the free throw at the technical end for the Knicks, up and good by Keith Van Horn. And now Shaq will shoot a pair.
Despite, in spite of that free throw on the technical that the Knicks just converted, Doug Mann told me how much time had elapsed before they scored. 3 minutes and 6 seconds of a dry spell. They've been in a real dry spell.
After a very good start offensively for the Knicks, mostly because of Shandon Anderson and Keith Van Horn. Shaq makes one and misses one. The Lakers lead it 40-30. 4:55 remaining in the first half. Mutombo to set a screen. Eisley around it, still on the dribble. Shaq comes over. Nice play, high off the glass by Eisley.
Well, Shaq was way on the weak side of that play. Somebody else should have been there to try to stop Eisley after he got the screen at the top. That won't make Phil Jackson happy, as he's taking the time out to discuss the defensive end right now. The Lakers up 40-32 on Fox Sports Net.
The Lakers on a 22-7 run in the period, leading the Knicks 40-32, and this bi-coastal affair brings out the likes of Chris Rock. What a wonderful young talent. And Spike Lee, maybe wanted to see a game in a little different surroundings. Jack Black starting to come out to more and more Laker games, and look at the 3. Jack Nicholson, Gary Shandling, and Dustin Hoffman all sitting courtside. They came back to see Karl Malone, who's returned back to the lineup after making 3 or 4 shots in the opening period. Also back on is Gary Payton. Bryon Russell stays out there as he should. Nice move by Kobe, almost with a follow. A dunk of his own off the jump shot. Jump hook miss by Shaq.
This is what could get the Knicks, some easy opportunities if they could get stops and get into transition and then have someone leave a shooter. Nobody went over to play him. So he knocks down a 3, and now it's a 5-point game.
Poor transition defense by the Lakers, who led it once by as many as 10, and then 10 again. Foul on the pass-off goes against the New York Knicks, and that's against Howard Eisley.
You know, Phil Jackson took that timeout right before that. The last timeout he took a minute ago was a defensive adjustment type thing. Then you come out, and then the next possession, you don't play defense. That won't make the coach very happy.
The Knicks are over the limit with 4:06 remaining in the period. The Lakers have yet to commit a foul so far in this period. Kobe at the line, averaging just under 22 points per game for 11th best in the NBA as he makes yet another free throw. He's made 30 out of his last 32.
You know, Bryon Russell has played so well here in the first half that Devean George, starter, hasn't been back on the court. Only played the first 9 minutes, and Bryon's been out there the rest of the way. He's got 3 steals, Bryon Russell does. That's a season high for him in the steal department.
Kobe now in double figures with 10, maybe on his way to a triple-double, Stu. He's also got 4 assists and 5 rebounds. Eisley, who just hit that nice 3-pointer, dribbles through the traffic, comes out the back door, finds himself open. Good hustle by Shaquille. Dangerous play, threw it on the floor, right at the opponent's basket, and then Shaq, out of frustration, spikes it into about the 15th row.
Well, he knew it was going to be goaltending. If you're going to do it that way, should have tried to spike it up into the upper deck. Although it might have been another technical and he'd have gone to the showers as he just says,
wow,
get this mess out of here. I'm tired of all of this.
I could have used him as a teammate a few years ago. We would have been pretty good. Inside to Shaquille. Nice pass out to Russell. Looking for another.
That was some play by Shaquille. While in the air, he made the pass to Bryon Russell for the three-pointer.
Eisley on the dribble, stutter step, looks outside. The Lakers now lead it 45-37. Back to Eisley, away from a screen from Mutombo. Shot clock down to 7. Dikembe takes an 18-footer. A battle down inside. Kurt Thomas and Karl Malone are wrestling together, and that foul goes against Thomas, so it'll be free throws for the mailman.
The Knicks knew they were in trouble when Mutombo had to take that last shot. As the play that I was talking about was Shaquille making the pass to Bryon Russell while in the air. And I tell you, Bryon Russell is on an absolute roll from the field. He is stroking it, and I mean, his confidence is so high and his playing time getting even higher.
Bryon Russell's got 8 points. We're giving him good karma, Stu. He's coming and hanging out with us just about before every game. Timing was off tonight. He didn't get any camera time tonight. He came to us too early.
Well, superstitions in sports are amazing. I don't know which sport has the most superstitious athletes. I would have to say possibly baseball, as they go through some real rituals. But basketball players have their own little things that they like to do each and every time.
Mailman misses the first of 2 free throws, now shooting it at 75% on the year, and Malone's got his field goal percentage, Stu, up just over 50%, 13th best in the NBA. Second free throw is good. The Lakers lead 46-37 as we approach the 3-minute mark in the first half. The Knicks got out quickly, led it 9-0, and also led 25-18 after 1, and then the Lakers a 22-7 spurt to open this second period. Eisley spending a lot of time on the dribble, but why not? It's worked pretty well. Thought he carried that one over, but a foul is going to be called on the perimeter against Gary Payton for holding. It's the first team foul in the period against the Lakers with 2:52 remaining, second personal against the glove.
You know, the Knicks have already shot, what, 5 free throws? Remember the last time these two teams played? Lakers outshot them from the free throw line 47-6.
I do remember. So did the Knicks.
They're on pace to do it again in this one if they keep this up. Lakers have been there tonight. What have they been there? 15 times.
Jump shooting team. Malone, fall away jump shot. Needs a bounce. No, nice rebound by Mutombo. Lakers want to get back defensively. Kobe doing a good job of harassing the outlet pass to Eisley. Eisley again down the lane. Nice pass to Shandon. Anderson who made a tough shot. Full speed under the basket, back up over his head.
Real nice play by by Howard Eisley. He set that up, and the bounce pass was perfect.
Shandon Anderson now with 14. Into Malone, wants to work against Weatherspoon. Turns, Malone, tough ball away jump shot off the front of the iron, and Shaq's got his hand in there and just picked up a foul. He had it in the cookie jar.
Second foul on the big fella with 2:07 to go in the half. Lakers on top by 7. Shandon Anderson got an easy opportunity, a routine basket because of the nice play by Howard Eisley. Just pass it, nobody there on the side to help. Shandon Anderson gets a layup. Spike Lee teased him lately about the string of games between the Lakers and the Knicks. So I have to run down at halftime and make sure I get back to it.
It's been a tough stretch, but for a great fan in Spike Lee. He sits courtside at every home Knicks game, the most expensive ticket in the entire NBA, and no playoffs the last 2 seasons for this proud franchise. That ball dropped out of bounds. Clearly the Lakers ball right in front of the Knicks bench.
It's one of those sort of unforced turnovers. The Lakers, Gary Payton and Horace Grant were applying some pressure, but that's one where Howard Eisley just took his eye off the ball.
That's a dozen turnovers. The Knicks, one of the worst teams in the league in that category. Russell with 8 of the Lakers' 10 bench points, passes the ball inside. Shaq now on the bench. Payton goes into the low post. That pass deflected, comes to Kobe. 6 on the shot clock, 5. Double team is there, out to Russell. Gotta go, takes a tough fall away jump shot. Pretty good try. Mutombo with the rebound.
There's contact on that play, on the shot by Russell, but the officials ruled that Russell initiated the contact, thus no whistle.
Yeah, it was good no call. Weatherspoon backing down on Malone. Malone jumps out of the way. Whistle comes. Good play by Malone, and you're right, Stu, a travel. 13 turnovers.
That's 9 turnovers for the Knicks in this quarter. Lakers only have one, but again, when you get that kind of a stone wall behind you, and Malone was so strong there, and then all of a sudden that stone wall moves, and you're trying to bang into it, you move your feet a little bit too quick, and you travel.
I want to remind you, coming up at halftime, as always, we'll send you to the Southern California Sports Report studio for the Jack in the Box halftime report. Kobe with it. Malone clears. Some room for Kobe along the baseline outside the Malone. Good pass to Payton. 15-footer unguarded. Easy basket.
That's good movement of the basketball. Kobe got doubled in the corner. Gives the ball to Karl, and Karl to Gary.
Lakers lead back up to 9, and you got to wonder, if you're the Knicks, Stu, where's Keith Van Horn gone? 5 quick points, and he's basically been silent since. 1 free throw since the opening 45 seconds. But Howard Eisley's making all kinds of noise along with Shandon Anderson.
They're taking advantage of Shaquille being out of the game, going to the rim a little bit more.
Kobe looking to go 2 for 1. Malone down the lane, lays it up and in, and the foul. Nice pass by Kobe.
That was a nice play by Kobe. He brought 2-3 defenders to him as he went baseline, and Karl always on the move with the reception of the pass and a 3-point opportunity. Just nice look by Kobe, nice finish by the mailman. Lakers go up by 9, looking to see if they can match the biggest lead of the game for them, 10.
Howard Eisley, 3 personal fouls, and with such a hot hand, Don Chaney's got to get him out of there, and Charlie Ward is at the scorer's table.
What is he going to do against Malone anyhow? I mean, it's one thing to foul Gary Payton if you're Eisley, but fouling, trying to stop Karl? Come on.
All you did was give the Lakers another point. Shot clock down to 15, game clock about 6 ticks behind, so the Lakers should get a good look at it, assuming that they can get a stop. Oh, they got the stop already. Kick ahead to Payton. Easy basket for the Lakers.
Karl Malone is perfect on stepping out on high pick and rolls. They tried to run it. Karl stepped out and just picked the pocket of Eisley.
The Lakers have a foul to give if they want to. Eisley pulls up quickly. That ball will belong to the New York Knicks. Boy, the Knicks dodged one. Eisley taking that shot with 5 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, he figured, hey, it's about as open as I'm going to get. I better get it up in a hurry. You know, we've only played a half, and already the Lakers have 4 players in double figures. That and 4 starters. The only starter, Devean George. Devean still hasn't scored yet, but Devean, in his defense, hasn't been on the court very much.
Again, 3.7 seconds remaining. The Lakers have a foul to give. Inside to Anderson. Misses the layup. Easiest shot he's had so far. Kobe from 3-quarter court. Just wide right. And the Lakers a very spotty first quarter, but they got a big lift, Stu, from Bryon Russell.
They got an enormous lift from Bryon Russell.
And with that, the Lakers now lead by a dozen. 53-41 over the Knicks. Now let's turn it over to Michael Eaves and Jack Haley for the Jack in the Box halftime report.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our NBA TV studios in Secaucus, New Jersey. I'm Mark Morgan. We are 2 quarters complete with the Lakers at the Staples Center leading the Knicks by a score of 53-41. Now we will have complete first half highlights in just a few moments, but first let's check out the individual scoring totals. There you see them. What a great first half for Shandon Anderson and Howard Eisley. They combined for 29 for the Knicks. Remember, the Knicks led this game by 7 at the end of 1. Then the Lakers blitzed them in that second quarter. Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone and Gary Payton all in double figures in scoring. So the Lakers with that 12-point lead at the break. Other games in progress in the NBA. First, we take you to Sacramento Kings and Clips first quarter. Peja Stojakovic, oh, it's 3. Sacramento on top 15-13 more. First quarter, Brad Miller off the nice dish from Mike Bibby with the stuff. End of 1, Kings by 9, 29-20 second period. Corey Maggette, the alley-oop from Keon Dooling. 48-36, Kings still by 12 after that sequence. Peja Stojakovic, the tough runner, and the foul. 50-36, Kings. Mike Bibby. Oh, it's 3. Yep. Bingo. End of the first half, Kings on top 57-43. They have started the third quarter at Arco Arena. The score 70-59. Kings. Maggette with 18 to lead everybody, but Stojakovic, Vlade Divac, and Brad Miller all in double digits in scoring for the Kings, and they lead that one by 11. To the Toyota Center in Houston, that is Yao Ming. It's Blazers and Rockets. It's Zach Randolph coming up, who drives and gets a little creative with a one-hand shot off the glass and in. Little luck, but it still counts. 91-87 Portland. This one would go right down to the wire. Steve Francis to Yao, who dribbles into the lane. Hook shot. We're tied at 91 with just over a minute to go. Now, Steve Francis brings the ball up court. Watch him drive. 23 seconds, 22, 21. Pull-up jumper, nothing but net. That was your winning margin and the winning score and the winning bucket. 93-91. Houston beats Portland. Zach Randolph, look at the numbers, 31 and 11, but it is not enough. Rasheed Wallace really struggles, only 12 points for him. Mobley with 24, Yao with 16, and Steve Francis chipped in with 15 in the Rockets win. All right, when we come back following a 2-minute break, we will have the highlights from the game that you are watching. The Lakers looked pretty good in that second quarter. It took a little while before he got his motor revved up, but the diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, helped power the LA Lakers to a comfortable halftime lead. The highlights are up next. It's game night here on NBA TV.
With the great catch, the power, starting to put his personality in.
Welcome back. The Los Angeles Lakers brought a 26-game regular season home winning streak dating back to last season into tonight's contest against the Knicks. Ironically, the Lakers' last regular season loss came against the Knicks back on February 16th. Allen Houston dropped 53 points for the Knicks in that victory. But New York's leading scorer sat out tonight's contest with that sore right knee. Let's show you what has transpired at Staples Center. Houston did try to warm up. You see him testing his knee in pregame shoot-around. He's a DNP, though. Howard Eisley, he's playing and playing well. First quarter bucket. Knicks started the game on a 9-0 run. Shandon Anderson's playing well, too. Look at that. Knicks passing it great. After one, New York led LA 25-18. Second quarter, different story. Kobe, no good. Shaq, good. One of the more emphatic follow slams of this young season. Let's check it out. Oh, boy. Might want to block him out, but then again, that's pretty hard to do as well. Back to the action. Lakers with a great ball movement. Shaq, the touch pass to Bryon Russell for three at the half. 53-41, Lakers on top. Eisley and Anderson have combined for 29, but right now Knicks down by 12. Shaq leads LA with 13. What a game in Minneapolis. Warriors and Timberwolves. Watch Jason Richardson get the inbounds pass fourth quarter drive for the acrobatic bucket. We are tied at 93. Some wild sequences down the end. Sam Cassell to Kevin Garnett. Garnett jumper, yep. 95-93. Garnett had 33 points in the game. Now, time winding down in the contest. Watch Nick Van Exel drive, and he will kick it to a wide open. Oh, they converge on Nick, and it's Jason Richardson. It's the three ball. It's a game winner. A huge road victory for the Golden State Warriors. The final, 98-95. Garnett 33 and 14. Doesn't matter. Spree chips in with 27. Sam Cassell 12 assists, but Jay Rich with 30. Three other Warriors in double figures. And Golden State wins it by 3, 98-95. All right, we're going to take another quick break here during our halftime show again. The game you're watching here on NBA TV in high definition, the Lakers lead the New York Knicks by a score of 53-41. We'll have more in a moment. Welcome back. Although the Indiana Pacers just concluded a 2-3 West Coast road trip, they still returned to Conseco Fieldhouse with the best record in the Eastern Conference. Earlier tonight, the Pacers hosted Eddie Jordan's Washington Wizards. Let's show you some quick highlights from that contest. There's Rick Carlisle, head man of the Pacers, and here we go. First quarter action. Christian Laettner blocked by Al Harrington. Pacers going the other way. There's Al. He got the block. There's Ron Artest to Kenny Anderson. Great fast break by the home team. Indiana led at the half by 7 to the third. Jermaine O'Neal. Look at that. With a rebound right there, the missed dunk by Artest. He puts it in. End of three. Pacers by 14 to the fourth. It's Artest. Little defensive help, none forthcoming. Lays it in with the left hand. Artest had 16 to lead the Pacers. Indiana wins it 93-79. Kwame Brown 17 to lead Washington. O'Neal, Harrington, Anderson, and Austin Crozier all join Ron Artest in double digits as the Pacers go to 17-5 on the season. In other action, let's go to Gund Arena in Cleveland. Cavaliers hosting the Raptors. LeBron James drives, baseline floater. Tougher shot than it looked, I think. He had 18 points in the game. End of one, Cleveland by 10. Vince Carter, look at that. Hang in reverse. I think it's worth another look. Oh, man. You look at it, even in slow motion, you don't understand how he made it. Ricky Davis drives, additions to Ira Newble. Misses jumper. Carlos Boozer not blocked out. He's been terrific for Paul Silas so far this season. Cleveland by 3 at the break. Danielle Marshall off the Jalen Rose steal, and look at the Raptors going the other way. Great passing. Vince Carter to Donyell Marshall for the bucket, end of 3. Raptors by 6. Jalen Rose, half-court offense, pulling up for the jumper. He had 20 points and 6 dimes. There you see the score, 100-93 again. The Raptors now 5-0 since the trade that brought Donyell Marshall, Jalen Rose, and Lonnie Baxter to Toronto. They are 5-0. Carter, Marshall, and Rose all with 20 or more. LeBron James with 18 to top Cleveland. All right, much more to come here during our halftime show. Again, the Lakers at the Staples Center leading the Knicks at the break, 53-41. We'll have more in moments. Hey, the two teams warming up for the start of the second half at the Staples Center. Again, Lakers lead it at the break by 12. We will take you there for the start of the third quarter in moments. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get you quickly caught up with another game played earlier tonight as the New Jersey Nets went in search of their third straight win at the expense of the visiting Seattle Supersonics. The Nets, so great at home the last 2 years, not so great so far this season. That's Ken Griffey Jr., baseball superstar, signing autographs. Third quarter, Jason Kidd, alley-oop to Kenyon Martin. 61-49, Nets in control. Another alley-oop to Martin. Look at that. Martin, 25 points and 7 boards in the game. Richard Jefferson, watch the nice baseline drive. When Richard Jefferson and Kenyon Martin play well, the Nets are tough with a capital T. Jefferson for 3 in the fourth. It's a blowout, 94-65. Jefferson give and go with Martin. Another 3. Jefferson tops everybody with 31. Nets win it 101-88. Ronald Murray with 27 to lead Seattle, and Jefferson with 31. Martin chips in with 25. And there you see Jason Kidd, only 2 rebounds from another triple-double. Warriors and Timberwolves in Minneapolis. We showed you a little bit of this a moment ago. Let's check it out again. Second quarter, Jason Richardson deflects the Keith McLeod pass. Calbert Chaney back to Richardson for the dunk. Warriors up by 7 and playing well at the break. Third quarter, Brian Cardinal drives past Kevin Garnett. Look at him challenge. KG puts it in. He had 17 in the game. Jay Rich inbounds. Acrobatic move. We're tied at 93. Here we go down the stretch. Who's going to be a hero? Kevin Garnett, long jumper. Just over a minute to go, goes down, 95-93 Minnesota. KG with 33, time winding down. Watch the lower right part of your screen there. It's Jason Richardson, he's wide open. Okay, the lower center of your screen. But Richardson wide open, takes the pass from Nick Van Exel, buries the 3. That is your game winner. 98-95, Golden State. Garnett 33 and 14. There you see Sprewell with 27. Richardson 30, Cardinal, Dampier, and Van Exel all having a hand in supporting Jay Rich. Golden State wins it 98-95. All right, live NBA game action returns to NBA TV on Wednesday night as the Wizards host the Magic. Tip-off time from the MCI Center in our nation's capital is scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern. NBA TV will broadcast that game in high definition. And after a 2-day hiatus, we will stay in the East when the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics collide at Gund Arena in Cleveland. Game time is set for 7:30 p.m. Eastern, but we will come on the air to get you set with all the night's action at 7 p.m. Eastern with NBA TV Live. We're going to take a quick break here on NBA TV. Again, Lakers up by 12 at the end of the first half. We'll have more in a moment. Welcome back to our NBA TV studios. Our halftime show is just about over. Welcome back. We're going to take a look at the box score. The Lakers, as we've told you, the game you're watching here in high definition, incidentally, on NBA TV. The Lakers lead it by 12, 53-41. There are your high scores. Let's go back to the Staples Center. Your announcers, Paul Sunderland and Stu Lance.
Well, you know, shooting percentages, both teams about the same. Where the big difference is second chance points and fast break points. The Lakers are beating them like a drum in that department. 23-2 overall in those two departments. And free throws, again, a big issue for the Lakers. The mailman back after serving his 1-game suspension. Got the Lakers off. I mean, knocking down jumpers. Doesn't look to shoot the ball a whole lot anymore because they have so many weapons, the Lakers do. But when he does, he's, as you mentioned in the first half, he's raised his percentage up to over 50%. He took 7 shots in the first half. He made 4 of those and utilized the entire floor to do so. So let's go down to courtside. Bill McDonald's with assistant coach Jim Clemens.
Thank you with Coach Jim Clemens. You know, it's funny. The Lakers played well the last game and then fell asleep in the fourth quarter. It's like you were falling asleep early, and then you finally woke up in the second.
Well, we knew this team was going to come out with some energy. They've lost 4 games in a row, and they play Utah tomorrow night, so they need to make a statement.
Scrappy is how you described it under me before the game.
Well, don't you agree?
I agree wholeheartedly.
Well, we got to be ready for the second half.
Anything a big key for the third quarter?
Well, we got to keep, keep their scores down. They've got, they're running the ball pretty well, so we just got to keep doing what we need to be doing.
Sounds good to me.
Let's hope so.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Jim Clemens, let's go back up to you.
It really would help if they kept the scoring out of the backcourt of the Knicks. That's where all of the production is, as Eisley and Anderson combined for 29 of the 41. And the Lakers have all kind of weapons. 4 players in double figures, led by Shaquille's 13.
Mentioned Bryon Russell getting 8 of the Lakers' 10 bench points. He also had 4 steals in that first half in just 15 minutes of play. The Lakers come back out with their usual starters: Devean George, Gary Payton, Kobe Bryant, Karl Malone, and Shaquille O'Neal. And you mentioned Shandon Anderson and Howard Eisley. Anderson was 6 of 11, Eisley 7 of 12. They had 13 of the New York Knicks' 18 baskets in that first half.
Well, it's not that unusual, though, because they usually get that kind of production from Allen Houston. So with him not playing tonight, that put the onus on Shandon Anderson, and he really stepped up in the first 24 minutes.
Yeah, that's a great point. Running the same system, they just changed the players, and Shandon Anderson taking advantage. Again, in his starts, either for Van Horn or Allen Houston, averaging 15 points per game. And Karl Malone, again, showing a nice touch tonight. Good rhythm from the perimeter by the mailman.
And they're going to him as a scorer to start this third quarter, not as a guy to set it up basically for somebody else.
Malone comes out to double team. He's chasing on the floor. He's got a held ball situation. What a play.
Again, pick and roll type situation, and Karl is having nothing to do with pick and rolls. He is jumping out and trying to trap them all, and Eisley loses his balance. He never did see the mailman coming from his right, forced the jump ball. So this will be a jump ball. The Lakers obviously should get the tap, or who'll get possession be another story. Karl's looking around, trying to find the gap where he wants to tip it, probably to Gary Payton.
Eisley, also a former teammate of Karl Malone's at Utah, as we mentioned earlier, was Shandon Anderson. Malone in the center circle. The Lakers again trailed this one 25-18 after 1. You heard Jim Clemens talk about that very slow start. The tip is controlled.
Did you see that tip, though? Eisley jumped before Karl even had a chance. I've always thought the smaller of the two players has an opportunity to jump first.
Keith Van Horn trying to beat the 24-second. Oh, a foul is called. A foul is going to go against Devean George as the shot clock expired.
And that was right in front of the Laker bench. I don't think Phil Jackson appreciated the call. He didn't think it was a good one as Van Horn's trying to beat the clock. There's no contest, no contact there by Devean George. The official says there is contact, and that's the only guy that matters, is the one that has one of the 3 that has the whistle.
High arching free throw, up and good again for Keith Van Horn, who has made both of his field goal attempts. Problem for New York is they came in the first 45 seconds of the game. He hadn't taken a shot from the floor since. Officially, I mean, I know he got fouled on that shot attempt.
Yeah, but he got him off to the good start. I mean, really off to the good start. He had 5 consecutive points to open the game. And then he just took that invisible lotion.
Backdoor cut to Kobe and lays it, throws it down. Nice pass by Shaquille.
Well, he draws so much attention, he being Shaquille. Or could it be Kobe? Or could it be Gary? Or could it be Karl? They all draw a lot of attention.
Shaq had 8 assists on Sunday night in the victory over Utah, 94-92 win. He's got 2 assists tonight. Malone with another steal. It goes back to Thomas. Somebody get on. Oh, those 7-footers don't want to get on the floor. Mutombo lost it out of bounds.
Mutombo went to the floor, but I don't know if he had any aid from Shaquille or not. The Lakers really getting it done with their movement without the ball. The last basket, the next tail direct connect. Shaquille to Kobe to the dunk. Nice teamwork.
Payton along the baseline, comes to Malone, outside to Kobe, disdains the 3. Kick to Devean George, set his feet, missed off the front of the iron. He's still without a basket. He's missed all 3 of his shots so far.
It's just like a new game for Devean. He hasn't been out there very much. Shaquille levels Shandon Anderson.
Anderson unencumbered coming down the lane, just went out on the break, never gave the ball up, and then he ran into the wall.
He ran into the wall. The wall still standing, and Shannon's on his backside. Shandon Anderson's a tough competitor. bounces up, knows that, you know, there's going to be contact when you go to the basket, especially against Shaquille. But that was a smart play by Shandon. That's third foul on Shaq. If they're going to have any hope, they got to get Shaq out of the game.
So Shandon Anderson will go to the free throw line. On the season, averaging 7.5 points per game, averaged a little bit more than that last year. Had some good years in Utah, moved on to Houston. And did you think that Shandon Anderson, if it's fair to describe that he has struggled since he left Utah, is it fair to say?
I don't know if struggle would be the word. I think that the way he played, it just fit better at Utah with John Stockton and Karl and the likes than it does in another type of a system. A lot of times it's the system that will help make the player look good or sometimes even look bad.
Both free throws good by Anderson, so he continues his fine play. He and Eisley carrying the Knicks offensively. Malone with it, 7 on the shot clock. Good cut by Payton, who's being held by Eisley from behind.
Again, when the ball goes into the post, Lakers they have movement, not just standing and spectating. This time it's Gary Payton moving without the ball, and the mailman finds him, and the foul occurred before the shot, so it'll just be ball out of bounds as Eisley has picked up his 4th personal foul. He's headed to those comfortable chairs over there. I used to call them the Pine, because back in the old day, that was just some hardwood over there. You didn't want to go over there and sit. Now these guys got comfortable chairs. I don't know if they mind sitting down that much.
Very cushy in some arenas around the league. You wouldn't want to get up at all. They're such comfortable chairs. But that's a big call against Eisley on the pushing foul, because he'll have to go to the sideline. Again, he and Anderson been carrying most of the offense. Out to Kobe, 7 on the shot clock, gets in the air. Malone with it, working on Thomas. Now down to Kobe, 3 on the shot clock. Pulls through, raise up, jump shot, and buries it.
Right before he caught the ball, he peeked at the far end's shot clock. That's just very smart basketball, especially from a guard. You have to have that ability to recognize the shot clock.
Be quick, but never hurry. Van Horn with it, working against George, outside to Mutombo. Now Charlie Ward on good three-point shooter. Anderson slashes to the basket, lays it up and in.
And Shandon Anderson has given them what they need from that position offensively. He just hasn't had a lot of help now with Eisley on the bench.
Anderson now with 18. Kobe just made a jump shot just inside the three-point line, down in the corner. Shaq's rolling. Kobe lays it back over his head. Some contact down inside. Mutombo takes the rebound. After Kobe let that ball go, there was a real collision between he and Van Horn. Anderson with it down inside. Can he get a roll? He does. A nice fall-away jump shot, moving from along the baseline into the key.
Very curious if we had it on replay to see if Shandon Anderson's right foot was out of bounds when he caught that ball.
Try to take another look at that for you if we can. Shaq rolls through the lane. Nice pass to Devean George. Looks a little bit hesitant tonight. Not in the flow. He's now 0 for 4. Anderson, the kick ahead. Devean George, nothing hesitant about his defense getting back.
Devin needs to get an easy one because, as you mentioned, doesn't seem to be in the flow. I tell you who is in the flow. GP with that spin move again. He sets you up for that. You cut him off, and he goes left or right and shoots it with either hand.
Payton's now got a dozen on 6 of 8 shooting. He is so good on that spin move. Ward out to Thomas, away from Malone, and makes a nice 17-footer. Nice basket by Kurt Thomas.
One of the hardest things to do is to help and recover. Karl had a long way to travel to get back to his man after helping on that last play.
Ball deflected in the air. Malone goes to get it. Charlie Ward flies. Payton trying to regain control of that ball. The Lakers lead is 10 outside to Malone. Good fake against Thomas, who bumps the mailman to the floor on his way out.
Well, Karl, that's 4 fouls on Kurt Thomas. So they, even though they're down by 10, they're going to have to start playing some of their players with foul trouble because they need Kurt Thomas on the floor. They're going to have to bring Howard Eisley back very soon as well, I think.
And Mike Sanders, the longtime trainer of the New York Knicks, and oftentimes, like with the Lakers, Gary V, to keep track of personal fouls, he leaned over to Don Chaney and said, "That's 4 on Kurt," and Don just wiped him off, just like you said, Stu. 10 points down in the third. You got to keep your guys out there if you can. Whistle blows and a foul on the inside, I should say, against Dikembe Mutombo, who looks on incredulously.
Mutombo is asking, well, what did I do? And the official saying you have 2 hands on him in the post. You can have a hand and a forearm, but you can't have 2 hands on him. And so there was the foul called. And Mutombo showing, I had a forearm on him. He said, nah, you had both hands.
3 team fouls now on the Knicks. 7:50 remaining in the period. 61-51. The Lakers on top. Shaq with it, looking for cutters. Kobe goes back door. Shaq now wants to go to work, turns, falls baseline way short. And here comes New York.
His turnaround jumper tonight isn't in rhythm. It seems like the ball is not leaving his hand as cleanly as he'd like.
Devean George just missed the suicide steal, and Keith Van Horn out of nearby Dikembe, and Dikembe High School makes him pay.
Only an 8-point game here with 7:22 to play. The Laker fans know what happened against the Jazz in the last game. Got a little lackadaisical, and 21-point lead was gone in a hurry.
Nice cut by Payton. Couldn't get that shot off against Mutombo, and there's Devean George, the recipient of another assist by GP, who's talking to him.
Well, just firing him up. He can tell that Devean is just not into the flow quite yet, and Gary just trying to fire him up.
Van Horn at 6'10", trying to back down. Devean George, easy play to call, bumping him from behind. So the Knicks will have it on the side, out of bounds. The Lakers lead it 63-53. Second personal foul on Devean George, third team foul on the Lakers.
I'm surprised that the Knicks haven't tried to post up Devean even more. I mean, big size advantage for Van Horn.
And who takes a nice fall-away jump shot. We talked about that right at the beginning of the game, Stu. Van Horn can get that shot anytime he wants it, and then maybe set something up going to the basket. Van Horn now with a dozen. The Lakers lead is just 63-55. Malone at the pinch post. Shaq wants to go back door.
Impeding the progress is what is going to be called on Mutombo. Freedom of movement is what the officials want to have their players be able to do in the NBA. Let the players run without the ball. Shaq was trying to come from the weak side to the strong side, and Mutombo impeded the progress.
Dikembe Mutombo, 4 times Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, and the last time he was Defensive Player of the Year, Shaquille faced him in the finals. Destroyed him. Won the championship on Fox Sports Net. Golden State surprises the Minnesota Timberwolves. Go into Minnesota and beat them 98-95. Jason Richardson, a big night. He had 30.
Just a second road win of the season for the Golden State Warriors. Arguably the most improved team in the Western Conference right now.
Speaking of improved, the Knicks can't improve anymore on their shooting in this quarter. They've taken 5 shots. They've made all 5 of their field goal attempts. The Lakers got to tighten those defensive screws once again.
The Knicks come in at just 7-14 of their 12 road games. They've only been successful 3 times, and they've lost 3 straight so far out in this 5-game Western Conference swing. Shaq with it. Mutombo with 3 fouls. Has to be careful. Shaq misses that a little bit short. Van Horn with a rebound.
I'm surprised Shaquille let Mutombo off the hook a little bit with that shot.
Anderson comes around the corner, looking in to Kurt Thomas, left all alone from 17 feet. No, George battling. Nice rebound by Dikembe. Charlie Ward still on the floor for Eisley. Imagine he's got to be back pretty soon, but the Knicks have cut into this lead. Nice play by Devean George. Van Horn wanted the foul. Give Devean George the block. Payton skip pass over to George, kicks it outside to Kobe. Down the lane, Van Horn just reaches out and grabs him.
And Kobe hears the whistle. Tries to just get it up toward the basket, does that, throws it up there, doesn't get it to fall. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 as he exchanges some pleasantries with Dikembe. Mutombo. That's a weak grab by Keith Van Horn. If you're going to grab him. Don't give him a continuation play. That shot would have counted.
I don't know what Van Horn is doing. I just think he's exercised with a no call at the other end when he thought he was fouled on the arm on the jump shot that Devean George, at least it was ruled, got a piece of as Kobe makes the first of 2 free throws. Kobe perfect from the line so far tonight. This is his 4th attempt. That's not news. One of the top free throw shooters in the league now at about 88%, makes them both. Van Horn's got it once again. He wants to go to work on George. Instead, throws a bad cross-court pass out to Charlie Ward. Still 10 on the shot clock. Ward a couple of dribbles. Comes to Thomas, guarded by Malone. Shot clock winding down. Double team comes. Where are you going to go? Goes to, oh, nice strip by Malone. 3 on the shot clock.
You know, you talked about a bad pass that Van Horn threw across court. The cross-court pass was there. He just put too much air under it and let everybody get to it. And Malone, that ball went off of Charlie Ward. Malone again stripping it, but they give it back to the Knicks with 3 on the shot clock.
Van Horn running through the lane, looking for Mutombo. Can probably get it into him. He hands back to Ward. High play. Archer over Shaquille, but the ball goes to Van Horn off the... Kobe is standing off to the side. He took some contact, no question about that. Kobe not involved in the play at all. The basket by New York, and the Lakers lead is 65-57.
This Knicks team not going away, so it's going to be up to the Lakers to put them away.
Well, you can see Kobe's eyes in that shot, watering. Backdoor cut, nice play by Ward. Ball's on the floor. Payton digs it out. Went to pass that ball off, and that's going to be free throws, and that's another foul. If that goes on Kurt Thomas, it's more foul trouble than it is.
First of all, Kurt Thomas and Charlie Ward have Gary Payton trapped. He's committed his dribble. He can't go anywhere. Why then get that aggressive so that you get called for the foul, especially when it's your fifth?
So Kurt Thomas has got to go to the sideline. Don Chaney pleading his case with Violet Palmer, one of the three officials tonight. The other two are Bob Delaney and Anthony Jordan. Van Horn scored that basket at the other end. He now has 14. Leading the Knicks with 20 is Shandon Anderson. Howard Eisley with 15. Gary Payton will go to the line. One of 4 Lakers in double figures, and he gets the first free throw to go. He now has 13. Kobe leading the way with 16. Shaq has 13. Karl Malone with 12.
Well, McDyess comes back into the game, and as we expected, Kurt Thomas with those 5 fouls goes over and puts on the warm-up jacket.
New York was scratching its way back into this game. At first, Eisley had to go to the sideline with foul trouble, and now Kurt Thomas will be there for a long time, depending on what happens on the scoreboard. The Lakers back on top by 10 as both free throws were successful by Kobe. Right down the lane is Charlie Ward. That's way too easy.
Yeah, that one was way too easy. That's what's making the coaching staff a little upset.
And Charlie Ward just ran into a screen by Malone and went to the floor. He's just now back up. Outside to Karl, straightaway jump shot, good once again, and Ward and Malone got tangled up. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one.
A little inadvertent contact that time. The official didn't blow the whistle at all. Karl was looking for a three-point opportunity, but he'll settle for the deuce.
Malone shooting the ball very well from the perimeter. That's got to be the Lakers' ball. Good play at first by Devean George, and then Kobe doubling up on Van Horn.
Well, Devean did a good job of moving his feet. He's playing behind Keith Van Horn. When you have a player behind you like that, Van Horn has to make sure he keeps contact. Don't let Devean just roam around where he wants.
17 turnovers for the Knicks. That's right on their season average, second to worst in the entire NBA. Only Chicago turns it over more often. Payton comes around the screen, gets in traffic, out to Malone. 3 on the shot clock. Devean George, 1 dribble, fall away, jump shot, and he's got that perfectly.
When you look at the shot clock and you know it's running down, there's never any pressure when you've got what is called almost a free shot. You don't have to worry about the coach getting mad at you for taking a shot because he knows you had to.
The lead is 12. Anderson unguarded and unstoppable right now. Dangerous pass off the deflection. Good play by Charlie Ward. And the Lakers will have it under their own basket.
Yeah, well, the Knicks are going to take a timeout here with 3:35 left to play in the third. Lakers still holding on to a double-digit lead, but not playing the type of defense that they're going to have to on Fox Sports Net.
Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey. Nobody makes whiskey. Jack Daniels.
Billy Mack back being a fire hazard right now in the aisles at Staples Center. We're back to the game in a minute as they show celebrities out on the scoreboard. I'm with Jack Black. Here he is, and Jack wants to get dialed into some tickets, right?
I like Spike Lee. That's a funny thing they're doing. They boo when Spike is on TV, and then they cheer when Jack Nicholson.
You want some tickets, don't you?
Here's the thing, I'm willing to pay, but there's like you got to be in a secret society, insider, to get it.
Very quickly, Tenacious D, the DVD, Kenny, KG sitting next to you.
Well, not right next to me.
Now he is.
Now he is. The thing is, we're stoked because someone didn't sit over there, so now we have like 3 seats to ourselves. So we have a little space between us where I can put my coat and stuff.
See, it's all...
But the DVD, man, the Tenacious D, the complete masterworks.
See, it's all about shilling. By the way, Tenacious D, Jack Black, the Lakers, it all works together. By the way, School of Rock, excellent. Back to you guys.
Well, I tell you, they're going to have to start playing some Tenacious D. They're not playing it right now.
And not just in name only. Fall away jump shot by McDyess. No battle for the rebound up on the rim. And Charlie Ward comes away with it, looking for Van Horn. He can shoot the 3. Measures it, misses it badly. Rebound taken by Payton. The Lakers lead is still 10, 71-61. Fisher was open. A better pass to Malone.
shoots if it goes, stay in there.
GP, I see you. I see you running the floor, running the show. That was good work by Gary Payton. Pushes it up the floor, stops at the free throw line as if he's going to go up for the shot, and makes the pass to the mailman, who gets bumped, gets a three-point opportunity. Gary Payton running the show, gets another assist, and the Lakers get another three-point opportunity.
Malone now tying Kobe for Laker game high honors with 16. He's made 7 out of 10 shots, Stu. Again, through the first 10 games of the year, as Malone misses the free throw, the mailman was shooting 43%. Over the next 9, he shot 59%.
Starting to, understand his teammates, and his teammates are understanding him more and more.
Inside to McDyess, still very much struggling to get the rust off. Just his 5th game back. Charlie Ward, that one tried to come out, stayed down, and the three-pointer is good by Charlie Ward.
Well, that three-point shot can get you back in a game in a hurry. Now it's back to a 9-point game.
Shaq with it. The New York Knicks have played a pretty solid game with a lot of foul trouble, and without their all-star Allen Houston. In and out, Devean George, not the same stroke of luck, if you will, as Charlie Ward.
Same type of shot, though.
Ward tries it again. That one came up well short. Shaq takes the flat-footed rebound. Devean George coming out of the backcourt. The Lakers and the Knicks both shooting it at about 50% on the evening. Payton faked the pass. Shaq directing traffic. Payton wants to go inside. Shaquille's got it, working on Mutombo. He's done a pretty good job against Shaq. Get that one higher on the board, and that one rims out.
That's the key. He just doesn't get that shot high enough on the glass yet this year.
Pass to a wide-open Van Horn. George ran to help elsewhere on the floor, and Keith Van Horn now with his 16th point. The Lakers' lead is just 7. 1:45 to play in the third. Slava Medvedenko will be in on the next dead ball. I would imagine it'll be for Shaquille, could be for Malone. Karl's got it. No, he's got the feeling. Thought he made that. Shaq with the offensive rebound. He's being fouled, still being fouled. Lays it up, and it's free throws.
He only got fouled 3 times on that play. They finally called the third one as the big fella working the offensive glass. The miss by the mailman. Shaquille's there to get that big mid on it. Gets fouled once, twice, and finally the third foul they call. They send him to the line and shoot a pair.
Mutombo picked up his 4th personal foul. He goes to the sideline, and for the first time we're going to see Michael Doliak. Played his college basketball at Utah, originally drafted by the Orlando Magic, there for 3 years before going on to Cleveland and then to New York. Shaq good on the first free throw.
Well, Doliak will give Shaq a completely different look on the offensive end. He's a face-up shooter. None of the players that Shaq has played against tonight have presented that kind of a weapon, so the big fella's going to have to come out and help.
Couple of good free throw strokes by Shaquille. Gives a nod of that bald pate to Gary Payton. Shaq now with 15. The answer is at the defensive end. Ward trying to get up to the top. There's Doliak. High archer over Shaq. Comes off the bench. No, Malone takes the rebound. Malone now with 5 rebounds. Payton quickly out of the backcourt. Shaq's got it at the free throw line. Back to Payton. Pull-up jump shot. No rebound taken by Van Horn.
Gary's shots have been short a little bit. I mean by short, they've hit the front of the rim on all of his misses.
Anderson kicks outside to Ward. Good three-point shooter. That one came up short. Shandon Anderson back in the game with 4 personal fouls. Kurt Thomas sits with 5.
Well, and Eisley sits with 4. But, when you're trailing like this against a team this good, you have to gamble some and play your best players when they're in foul trouble.
Shaq trying to work his way into the lane, wants it back. Bryon Russell also back on. Shaq took a tough shot. Good defense by Doliak. Another rebound by Van Horn. His 7th.
Doliak's been sitting over there for so long. He's trying to get those wheels to work, and they don't work all that well to begin with.
Nice floater down the lane, followed by McDyess. Tough luck. And as McDyess has come back into the rotation, it's been less playing time for Michael Doliak. Fisher thought about it. Instead, the Lakers will settle for the final shot of the period, leading at 75-66. 10 seconds remaining. Yep.
Very smart play.
Outside to Payton, looking for Malone. Doliak's got him on the switch. Payton all the way to the back. They had Shaq by the shorts. Did you see Antonio McDyess trying to keep him from going to the basket?
Try everything that you have available to you. As McDyess says, if I got to hold that way, that's the way I'll do it. Send Shaquille back to the charity stripe. He just made 2 on his last trip.
Shaq at the line. That was the 4th personal foul on Van Horn. Shaq has that one rattle in and out. College basketball weekend to remind you of. It's an early showdown between two of college basketball's best. When the 22nd ranked Marquette battles 9th ranked Arizona. Coverage begins Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock here on the West Coast on Fox Sports Net. Shot out of the back. Oh, off the front of the iron. Charlie Ward had a good look at that as the third period comes to an end.
Well, the Lakers didn't do what they wanted to do, and that's put this team away in the third quarter. Now they've got 12 more minutes to get it done. They lead by 10 with 12 minutes to play. They're out rebounding the Knicks by a lot on Fox Sports Net. They've really been outrunning the Knicks in fast break opportunities, and the big four of the Lakers now, they're getting ridiculous with being consistently equal here. 14 to 16 points is the numbers they have between the four of them. Nobody has more than 16. Nobody has less than 14. I said going out off the break, Lakers were out rebounding the Knicks. Wrong. Lakers are being out rebounded by the Knicks, and that is not acceptable to the coaching staff of the Lakers. They're going to have to pick it up. They're being out rebounded by 7 entering the fourth quarter. The Lakers better do a much better job in the final 12 minutes.
Forrest Grant onto the floor, replacing Shaquille O'Neal. Karl Malone goes to the sideline along with Gary Payton. Kobe stays on with Derek Fisher, Slava Medvedenko, and Bryon Russell, who played so exceptionally well in the first half. Ward off a screen. Doliak, that pass almost intercepted. Still 10 on the shot clock. Ward just took a look. Nice behind-the-back pass. Doliak wide open. Should be able to make that shot. Russell with a rebound.
But when you're big and you've sat over there for so long, and you come out and you're a perimeter shooter, you know, the joints don't work like they do for smaller players. He really has to get moved up before he feels comfortable.
And he didn't play in the game on Saturday at Golden State, which was the Knicks' last, a loser up there. Medvedenko looking for the tip, had it up on the rim twice.
Well, the first tip was good. The second one, I thought he should have secured the rebound and tried to take it back up.
Into the corner to Shandon Anderson, who continues his hot shooting.
Yeah, he is really lighting it up. He's made, 10 out of 15 from the field. He's got 24 points, obviously a high score in the game.
Van Horn has 16, Eisley has 15. Foul trouble has been a big story for the Knicks all night long. Out to Russell, good head fake, pull-up jump shot. That's good.
That's just good control. Spotted up, has Keith Van Horn running at him, so he doesn't panic. Just let Van Horn go by. One dribble to improve the percentages, knocks it down.
Russell now with 10 off the bench. The only other player to score other than the starters is Slava Medvedenko. Derek Fisher has not scored. He's played 15 minutes, 0 for 3 so far from the floor. 13 on the shot clock, just underway here in the fourth period as the Lakers are looking for their 27th consecutive home regular season victory. If you weren't with us at the beginning of the game, the Knicks, the last team to defeat the Lakers here at Staples, February 16th of last year. Air ball, but it goes right to McDyess.
I know, Keith, you're going to say that was a pass. Wrong. The brick that ended up in your teammate's hand.
McDyess, Antonio McDyess, the former All-Star, struggling back from 2 very, very complicated knee surgeries. His first basket, nice rebound by Doliak off the Fisher miss, a near steal by Russell. Lakers need to get back defensively. Van Horn attacks, nice strip by Fisher, but it's going to be a pair of free throws coming to Antonio McDyess, and the Lakers lead, Stu, is only 8. 78-70 feels a little bit like the Utah game.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a game where the energy on the defensive end isn't there consistently. They turn it on in spurts, but you've got to do it consistently for 48 minutes, and it makes your job that much easier. Now the starters are going to have to play some more here in the fourth quarter. They already have Kobe on the floor. He's the only starter on the floor right now, but the other 4 are going to have to come back, because with a successful free throw here, you're looking at a 6-point game.
Antonio McDyess in his 9th season out of Alabama, the 2nd overall pick in 1995, originally drafted by the Los Angeles Clippers. A draft day trade sent him off to Denver. Makes both free throws, missed all of last year, only 10 games in 2001, 2002, and was an all-star the year before that. Bryon Russell with it, and just like that, as you mentioned, Stu, those free throws good. The Lakers lead is half a dozen. Kobe working on Anderson. McDyess comes over to help. Kobe pulls up, misses that, and the rebound comes out to McDyess. The Lakers looking to get back defensively. Ward, nice his way all the way down the lane. Terrible defense again, and the easy layup, and the Lakers lead is only 4.
Fourth quarter woes at home for the Lakers in back-to-back games.
Fisher, pull-up jump shot, has that block from behind, fouled from behind.
Good recovery by Charlie Ward, though. He really did a good job of getting back into the play after really his last play of dribble penetration against the Lakers. Nobody there to help. The Slava just waves at him as if to say, well, you're not my man. I'm not going to step in front and make you do anything about picking it up, as he gets the uncontested lead.
First free throw attempt of the evening for Derek Fisher, and that stays home. It tried to get out. Fisher having a good year from the free throw line. And it's difficult when you don't get there very often, which Derek does not. He's now 33 out of 40, just over 82%. Second free throw also good, so it's 80-74. Ward out of the backcourt. He's played pretty well since Howard Eisley went to the sideline, and they really were getting, they being the Knicks, a very good punch, and Eisley's back out there with him now. You're going to have to watch Eisley. Been shooting it well tonight. Crossover dribble. Ward gets in the lane. Ball's on the floor. Bodies everywhere, and it's going to be a held ball.
Well, he did a good job, he being Charlie Ward, of splitting Slava Medvedenko, getting into the middle. He doesn't really mishandle the ball. He's on his way up. Derek Fisher got a hand on it. That created the jump ball situation.
Yeah, look at that sheepish grin. Nice try, Antonio.
If they're going to let you get away with that, go ahead and try it.
Absolutely. Antonio McDyess at 6'10" tried to get in there against Horace Grant. Instead, it's Charlie Ward at about 6'1". Grant controls the tip. Nice play by Kobe. That would have been New York's ball.
A better play, I think, by Bryon Russell to run to Kobe so that he had someone to throw it to as he's falling out of bounds.
Grant looking up top to Kobe. Crossover dribble. Shandon Anderson stays on the ground. Good defense. Fisher, one power dribble. Pull-up jump shot and a big basket for the Lakers.
Derek has been doing that particular move a lot lately. One hard dribble and then a real quick explosion off the floor going to his left.
82-74. Lakers lead it. Here is Eisley with 15 points. Had to sit for a number of minutes in the third with foul trouble. Charlie Ward, no rebound taken by Medvedenko. Lakers with a chance to get the lead back up to double digits. Kobe loses the handle on the turnover. Here comes New York. McDyess on the run out, takes it inside. He's fouled. Smart foul by Horace Grant, sending McDyess to the line to shoot two.
You know, your mind tells you to do one thing and your body lets you do something else. I know McDyess was thinking about exploding, and he's just not ready to do that yet. We've got a timeout on Fox Sports Net.
Here at Staples Center, the Lakers leading it by 8. Coming up next for the Lakers, their third meeting of the year with the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks going to be in LA for a while. They play the Clippers right here tomorrow night, and then at Portland, back-to-back games, and then versus Carmelo Anthony and the Denver Nuggets, and then the struggling Phoenix Suns, who are a loser by 20 tonight to the Miami Heat.
You know, you mentioned that the Mavericks are going to be here a while by playing the Clippers and staying over and playing the Lakers. You know, that's a big advantage for the visiting team, because one of the things about going to a different arena, you go in, you shoot around that morning, get acquainted with the building, then play, then you're gone. But they get a chance to come in, shoot around, play, stay, shoot around, play. So they get very comfortable with the surroundings.
And Dirk Nowitzki, who has missed the last 5 games with a severely sprained ankle, expected to play tomorrow night against the Clippers, and if he does, obviously, and gets through that successfully, he will be back against the Lakers on Friday night. The Lakers have won the first 2 meetings against Dallas as McDyess makes 1 of 2 free throws. 8:15 remaining in this one. The Lakers lead is uncomfortably at 82-75.
So what happens? Phil Jackson puts Shaquille O'Neal back in the game.
Pretty good place to go. Kobe with it, looking inside to Shaq, being bumped as best he can by Doliak. Doliak leaning on him. Shaq turns away. The hook, no. Nice rebound by McDyess. Ward comes quickly out of the backcourt, finds Doliak, who wants to run the floor to get open jump shots. He's missed his first 2. There's Anderson. Back out to Doliak. They look for Michael Doliak. He's now 0 for 3.
Got a good shot, though. That's his shot.
And this is Derek Fisher's shot, although that one off the back iron, and Shandon Anderson takes the rebound. Well, if I were New York, I'd try to get Shandon Anderson a shot in their offense if they can. 10 for 15, if I'm not mistaken, on the night, but we said that about 6 minutes ago, Stu.
Yeah. They're trying to get it to him. They finally get it to Ward. Ward misses another 3.
That ball, long shot, is missed by Ward. Rebound taken by Shaq. Down inside to Kobe. How can you forget about... Oh, he had that rattle in and out.
Kobe with a little smile on his face as if, well, I finally get a foul called in my favor. I had a chance at a three-point play. Couldn't get the shot to fall, but he's back to the charity stripe where he's been there 4 times. He's made all 4.
Kobe now in the last 3 games and 3+ quarters as he makes yet another 34 out of 36 from the free throw line, now leading the Lakers with 17 points.
And I would think in about another minute to 2 minutes, you'd see Gary Payton and Karl Malone back on the floor.
That free throw rattles in and out, a rare miss for Kobe. And here comes New York. 83-75 is the lead. Still a lifetime to play. Lots of contact, but in front of the official Bob Delaney, ruled incidental. Good screen by Doliak. Frees up Eisley, who makes a 17-footer.
High screen and roll. Not really, I shouldn't say screen and roll. It's more screen and spot up.
17 now for Eisley. Shandon Anderson leading the way for the Knicks with 24. Shaq trying to get in the lane. Doliak doing a good job. Kobe a couple of left-handed dribbles. Nice pass to Shaq. Couldn't handle it. Here comes New York with numbers. McDyess trying to run the floor. Kick outside to Eisley. Eisley from long range off the front of the iron, but it comes right back to him. Kick out to Anderson. Not through the offense. Anderson misses that one. Nice rebound by Doliak. Misses the putback. Dangerous outlet pass. Medvedenko ahead of the pack. Here comes Fisher. Lakers pull it back out as Shaq joins the party. 6:15 remaining in this one. Shaq on the pinch post, hands off to Russell, wants to go to work, still working down inside, lays it up and is fouled.
Wow, just overpowered Howard Eisley that time. Eisley's there, just trying to hold his position. Takes the shot, Bryon Russell does, and Eisley's called for his 5th personal foul.
And Kurt Thomas, who has 5 fouls of his own, comes back on along with Keith Van Horn. So Bryon Russell will go to the free throw line, having a very, very good night. 10 points, 3 rebounds, also 3 steals. Now make that 11. I want to remind you, as always, coming up right after tonight's game, it's a Southern California Sports Report, 30 minutes. Sports stories, all the local teams are covered, and Barry LeBrock will have all the coverage for you, doing post-game interviews in the Laker locker room. The Angels continue to make some moves, and Tigers tournament comes to Sherwood Country Club out in Thousand Oaks. Couple of free throws. Good by Bryon Russell. He now has a dozen. The Lakers lead is 85-77. 6 minutes remaining in the game. Eisley looking for Anderson. Goes in the lane. Steps, pirouettes, fall away jump shot. No. Nice rebound by Russell.
Nice challenge on the shot by Derek Fisher as well.
Kobe fake the snap pass, comes to Russell, guarded by Van Horn. Shaq now against McDyess. Doliak, Shaq just turned, reverse layup. McDyess bumped him almost out of bounds. Dikembe Mutombo will come back on, and Shaq at the free throw line.
Shaq will be going back to where he has made a home in this ball game. He's been there. He's made 8 out of 13 on Fox Sports Net. 5:43 to go in the 4th quarter. The Lakers leading the Knicks 85-77. When you talk about the New York Knicks and their storied franchise, you think about players that have been with them the longest. Obviously, Patrick Ewing played the most seasons with the Knicks, 15, followed by Carl Malone with 12. Phil Jackson played 10 years with the Knicks. And if I were to ask you what current Knick has the longest tenure with them, would you say Charlie Ward?
No.
I would have, I just wouldn't have thought of Charlie Ward. He's in his 10th year with the New York Knicks. So the young man has some durability, I guess, after playing football and being the Heisman winner. You have to have some durability. 1st round pick back in 1994.
Phil Jackson was a 2nd round pick by the Knicks back in 1967.
All those names with those with 10 years aside from Charlie Ward, when you had the Knicks and Willis and all those. That team, I tell you, that may have been the most intelligent basketball team I'd ever played against. I mean, they were just so smart on the court. They were, we joked about it. They could play with their eyes closed. Just blindfold them. They knew where everybody was going to be. They'd make the proper passes. They were a very intelligent team.
Dave DeBusschere, Bill Bradley, Walt Frazier, Clyde the Glide. Just Clyde.
Clyde the Glide was up in Portland.
Yeah, I know.
He's still, I think about a dunk in a game, and I think about the dunk that Clyde did against the Lakers at the Forum. Honestly, it's the most impressive dunk I've ever seen. I thought he jumped from half court.
He could. Kobe looking for the pull-up jump shot. Instead to Russell. Pretty good place to go. Want to go to Shaq. This side is cleared. Mutombo one-on-one. Kicks it outside to Kobe. 6 on the shot clock. Back inside to Shaquille. Gets all the way to the rim. Lays it up easily and in.
That's what you see, the one long step he took off the dribble as opposed to the short step. That's what got him the layup. Great job of getting around Mutombo.
Now the Lakers, just like the game on Sunday against Utah that they managed to hold on to win by only 2. Now they need some stops. Up by 10. Here's Anderson. Kobe guarding him. Anderson's had a brilliant game. On the switch, Kobe goes for the steal. Here comes Thomas inside. The foul is going to go against Kobe on the outside.
But you see now how active this defensive team is for the Lakers. They know they need the stops, and they're getting a lot more active. The last basket by Shaquille, just taking that one long step after contact, got him an uncontested layup.
Third team foul against the Lakers. Just the first personal on Kobe. Eisley working, throws one up and draws contact against Gary Payton.
Well, Howard Eisley, he's had a nice game, very nice game, despite the fact he's been in foul trouble throughout quite a bit of it. He's got 17 points, making his first trip to the charity stripe. They've already doubled their attempts against the Lakers of the first meeting. They only shot 6. They're now at 14 free throw attempts. They've converted 11 of them.
And this could be a very different looking game if Eisley had not been in foul trouble, Stu. He now has 18. He's only played a total of 26 minutes.
Well, you get his 18 and Anderson's 24. You can see where they've hurt the Lakers the most. He's got 19 and Anderson's 24. That's where the Lakers have been hurt the most.
4.5 minutes remaining. The Lakers lead at 87-79. The Knicks doing a pretty good job of doubling the low post. Payton kicks it outside to Russell. Russell, another shot on the way off the front of the iron. Rebound taken by Thomas. Here comes New York. Eisley crossover dribble picked up quickly by Payton. Comes around a good screen. Malone out there to help. Thomas gets rid of Malone with a good head fake and misses a 15-footer. That should be New York's ball. Mutombo was after it. I think Kobe hit it out of his hand from up top.
Kobe and Mutombo have had some fun tonight. Kobe knocks the ball out of bounds, but the Knicks will get a fresh 24 with 4:11 to play, and they're making their final run. The Lakers have to obviously withstand this third.
Shooting percentages for both teams really starting to fall off. Eisley the reverse layup. Thomas gets the offensive rebound. The Lakers standing around. Puts it right back easily up and in, and the Lakers lead is only 6.
Undermanned, but you don't question this New York Knicks team. They really came out here and fought.
Turnaround jump shot. Nicely made by Malone. Boy, he's feeling it tonight. He's looking at that big right paw.
Oh, he's had a day off. A game off. He's got so much energy to use. He's not used to having a game off.
11 games over 18-plus seasons, and 7 of those by league suspension, including the last. Eisley wants to work around a screen. The crowd yelling for defense. Malone gets out. Thomas now picked up by Payton. Fall-away jump shot short. Shaq's got the rebound. That's now 13. Nice pass to Kobe, left wing. Thought about attacking, cut off by Anderson. 89-81. The Lakers on top. 3:10 to go in this game. The Lakers looking to stay perfect at home and make it 10 straight overall. Kobe attacks down the lane, bumps off Anderson, and rattles in a tough 15-footer.
And Don Chaney with the good timeout as the last surge has been withstood by the Lakers. They go back up to a double-digit lead thanks to Karl Malone and his hot hand as he's raining jumpers on the New York Knicks. 91-81 the Lakers on Fox Sports Net.
Exactly 3 minutes remaining. The Lakers back on top by 10. Our next telecast will be this Friday against the Midwest Division leading Dallas Mavericks, currently at 13-7. It'll be the third meeting of the year between the Lakers and Mavericks. The Lakers having prevailed in the first 2. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock. Lakers Live pregame show right here on Fox Sports Net.
We talked about the mailman delivering tonight, and he's been delivering jump shots tonight. Whenever he's been aggressive offensively, he's knocked it down. He's made 8 out of 12 from the field en route to 18 points. Yeah, it's hot. Don't touch it with the other one. Get a burn.
I thought he was going to blow on it, Stu.
Not that hot.
8 of 12 from the floor. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Anderson working on Kobe. High arching fall away jump shot. No, what a rebound by Russell in traffic.
Did he get aided on that jump? I mean, that was very nice. Two-handed, secured it very nicely.
That's 5 rebounds now for Russell. 2.5 minutes remaining. Shaq out to Malone once again. This one hard off the back iron. Anderson comes out with some company. Right side is Eisley. Back to Van Horn. Sets his feet. Three-pointer on the way, no. Russell battling for the rebound. It's loose. Good play by Thomas. Kicks it to Eisley. A couple of dribbles left side. Now picked up by Payton.
Good recovery by Gary Payton because Eisley was open there. He was looking at a 3.
Lakers still sitting on a 10-point lead. Payton goes down. Tough screen. 8 on the shot clock. Outside to Anderson. He's on his wallet. Offensive rebound by Van Horn. Shaq just snuffed that out. Van Horn out of control. Throws it out to Eisley. All day to measure it. He misses it badly, and Shaq takes the rebound in front of Dikembe.
Sometimes those wide open shots like
Very
that can be very difficult to convert. I mean, you spin the ball. You're still waiting on somebody to challenge you. Next thing you know, you're shooting up a brick.
Shaq's got 14 rebounds. Payton kicks it out. Russell had a look at it off the back iron. He's missed 2 in a row. That's headline news the way he's been playing over the last 3 weeks.
And Howard Eisley finally gets the whistle in his favor with 1:27 to play. Down by 10. Eisley will be going to the charity stripe to shoot 2.
With about 4.5 minutes remaining, Stu, and the Lakers lead was 8. We talked about the fact that the Lakers just needed some stops, and they have gotten some, maybe with some help from some poor shooting. The New York Knicks are just 2 for their last 16.
When you're 2 of 16, you better be up by 25.
And they
when you start that run, because if you're trailing, you're not going to catch up.
Again, the Knicks playing tonight without their leading scorer, Allen Houston, the all-star, averaging 20 points per game, bothered by some soreness in his right knee. Did not play Saturday either. We expected him to play tonight, Stu. So there must be something really bothering him.
When I saw him warming up prior to the game, I knew he wasn't going to play. He wasn't moving around very well at all. I mean, whether it was the back or the knee or both, he was really under some duress.
1 free throw made, 1 missed, time winding down. That pass intended for Kobe. Dribbling in the lane, goes behind his back, squares up, shakes off Van Horn, misses a 17-footer. Nice rebound by Shaquille. A good pass out to Malone. Malone misses that jump shot. That would have sent the crowd into a frenzy. Eisley's not stopped, kicks it off to Anderson. One-legged takeoff coming across the lane and throws one up and in.
Well, it was an exciting play on the other end, despite the fact the Lakers didn't score. But when they got the offensive rebound, utilized the clock.
New York thought they were going to foul. They're trying to get the foul on. They look very confused. They're trying to, boy, they just let about what? Let me look at it. 15. They just let 9 seconds go off the clock where they had no idea what they wanted, Don Chaney wanted them to do.
Well, after you give up 9 seconds, then don't foul.
Exactly.
Just play it out. Try to get a stop. But because they took the foul, and it happened to be the 6th foul on Thomas, he's out of the game. And Gary Payton will be going to the free throw line with 47 seconds to play. The Lakers up by 7.
Everyone was anxious to get Karl Malone back in the fold after an NBA-mandated suspension of 1 game after the incident in Dallas last week, and he came through with a big game tonight from start to finish.
Yeah, the 18 points on 8 out of 15 from the field. Yeah, that's a big night, but just the stability that he brings with you. I mean, you throw the ball in the post to him, and you move, you know you're going to get the passing. I mean, you miss all those things that the mailman brings. I mentioned how he was just stepping out on all pick and rolls, and he was making it very difficult when he was involved in pick and rolls.
Both free throws up and good by Gary Payton. He now has 16. Kobe leading the way with 19. Shaq with 18. Malone with 18. Shot from the outside, good by Eisley, a 3-pointer, and the Lakers lead is 93-87. What are they doing?
Well, again, they only let 2 seconds off that time, but still, when you're down like that, and if you're going to foul, as soon as it's inbounded, if you don't get the steal, you get the foul immediately.
Running down the scoring, Bryon Russell again, a super night off the floor. He's missed a couple of shots his last 2 looks. He's got 12 points to go along with 5 rebounds and 3 steals. Both of these teams have really cooled off. They were shooting about 50% through 3 quarters. The Lakers are down to 42, as are the New York Knicks. Kobe good from the free throw line once again. Well, next up are the Dallas Mavericks, and then at Portland, and then 5 days off before Carmelo Anthony and the Denver Nuggets come into Staples Center for the first time this year. Free throw up and good again, and the Lakers extend their lead to a pretty comfortable distance now, Stu, at least I think.
Well, they lead it by 8 with 33 and some change left in the game, so we'll see what the Knicks have in store when we come back. You know they're going to be trying to set up some kind of a three-point look on Fox Sports Net.
Lakers have this one pretty well wrapped up, and that will be another record-setting night for the Lakers, Stu, here in Los Angeles.
Well, 27 straight wins if they hold on to this one, which I really feel comfortable that they'll do. You know, that we talked about the last loss they had here during the regular season was against this same Knicks team last February. 30 is the franchise record, so they've got a few more to go, and you know, the old sports cliche is take them one game at a time, because if you start thinking about 30, 28 jumps up and bites you.
Right now, I think the Lakers, Stu, are going through a period where they're just playing well enough to win, and that's basically all that matters. But after that challenging stretch, if you will, 2 games against San Antonio, 1 against Indiana, and 1 against Dallas, the Lakers were bound to have a little bit of a down period, and they've had those against Utah and maybe against New York, not playing their very best basketball with the most energy, but they're still coming away with victories.
Well, one of the things that this club is developing again is the fact that when they need to turn the defensive screws, they've been able to do so. So there are times when they'll look very lax on the court and allow teams to make the good challenge, the good run toward them. But they've been able to withstand those, turn the screws, and come away victorious.
Gary Payton misses another free throw. 16 tonight, averaging 14.5 on the year. 5th all-time in steals, 6th all-time in assists. Lakers lead it now 96-87. Next up for New York are the Utah Jazz tomorrow, so obviously they'll fly out right after the game. Another steal. Goes to Kobe. Kobe back to Karl Malone, who throws it down.
Oh, they're having a lot of fun. You have fun when you're winning.
Howard Eisley pops that one, and let's congratulate the New York Knicks. Howard Eisley, Shandon Anderson played a pretty nice game, especially in the absence of Allen Houston, but they will fall to 7-15 as the Lakers improve to 18-3, and it is fun when you're winning games, Stu.
Yeah, you share the ball, you share all the glory when you're winning.
The Lakers win it 98-90. For Stu Lance and Bill McDonald, I'm Paul Sunderland saying so long. Now stay tuned for Michael.